All right, guys, Patriot Picker here. We're on day 3 of our trip to South Carolina. We're now in Spartanburg and on the trek home. And so we've got about 4 or 5 Goodwills to hit before we get to the house. We're gonna follow up with you and show you what we find. See you in a little bit. Hey guys, Patriot Picker here, and we're getting ready to do a very quick flyby of everything that we picked up in South Carolina. We're gonna go fast, so here we go. So you start off, you can see we've got several games, several video games. You can just pan the whole room and you can see that we've taken everything out of the bags. We got home yesterday, we've taken everything out of the bags, got it on the floor here, and got it ready to be inventoried. There's some clothing over there, and then we are going to get this all back down to the eBay bunker and start taking pictures and start listing. So I'm going to zoom back out here. You can see in our room here how much stuff there is. Hey guys, Patriot Picker here. My name is Chris, and we're down in the eBay bunker, and this is going to be a continuation of our part 3 trip to South Carolina, where we went down and did some sourcing. And I was really excited about this video because I had 2 stories that I wanted to share with you guys that were really cool, really special to me, and we're going to jump right in. So as you saw from part 1 and part 2, my wife and I, we did go down to South Carolina. We did do some sourcing down there, and we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. We have some family members that live there, and then we have a friend that we most recently became in contact with, and I'll tell you about her in just a second. And then we wanted to go down and really do some sourcing. I live in Virginia. Virginia was locked down. There was no thrift stores open. But South Carolina set the tone for getting everybody back up and operating. And so their thrift stores were opened and they were letting people in. And so we went down. It didn't take us very long to get down there. And so anyway, you saw the footage of us going down. You saw some footage of us inside one of the Goodwill stores. And now what I want to do is I'm going to share with you real quick. While I was in one of the Goodwill stores down there, I came across an item that I just, you know, as a military veteran myself, and seeing what this was, I kind of knew right away that it was special. So I'm going to show you what it is, and then I'm going to tell you the background story on it, okay? All right, so what it is a handmade American flag made out of wood. And several folks across the country have been getting involved in doing this kind of work. There's probably too many of them to tell about. And so I recognized it right away as something special. I myself was going to get it for myself, but then my wife and I started looking at it, and when we did, we flipped it over on the back, and we noticed that it had this stamp on it. AmericanPatriotDesigns.com, a gentleman named Ron Baker. Now this item was sticker priced for $9.99, and I knew right away that it was something that I was going to get, and I wasn't for sure whether I was going to keep it for myself or whether it was going to be a resale. I had no doubts that it would resell. And so what I thought was, I wonder, just by chance, if this gentleman is available to talk so that I could find out how much it actually sold for originally, how much he charges to make them and sell them. And then that would give me some kind of idea on what I wanted to do with it as well. So randomly, which is my typical life story, randomly, I picked up the phone and I called him right there in the Goodwill. And lo and behold, guess who answered the phone? Ron Baker. That's right. He answered the phone right away. We started chatting, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, and Ron, if you're watching this video, and I hope you will, I believed you were on the road maybe that day. It kind of sounded like maybe you were on the road as we talked. But super, super nice guy. Army veteran, I believe, and I won't hold that against him. And started talking with him a little bit about the sign and what they do. And guys, you got to go check out his website, AmericanPatriotDesigns.com. He does awesome work with wood, and he doesn't just do flags. They do a lot of other things. Now, the backdrop story is here, and Ron, forgive me if I get this wrong. I'm going off of 2 or 3 weeks of this being past tense. The old Marines losing it. But I believe Ron was doing all these by hand. And he told me that they've just recently got into now CNC machines. Blows it out of the water when it comes to speed and accuracy and detail and being able to crank out a lot more product, from my understanding. I believe moved and relocated everything to North Carolina. Now, I may be wrong there, but they were in, I think, South Carolina, and then they moved. But that doesn't really matter because he has a website, obviously, and you can just go there if you want to order something and look at what they have for merchandise. So here's where the story gets really interesting. All right, so I'm talking along with him, and then I finally tell him who I am. My name is Chris Robinson. Okay, so he doesn't know me from Adam, right? And then I said, I'm thinking about doing a video of this whole thing. Would you mind me giving you a shout out and mentioning you and the story behind it? And immediately he goes, oh yeah, you're the Patriot Picker. I've watched some of your videos. And I was like, wow, what a small world. So that was really cool that, he knew who I was. And then, he knew right away I'm a veteran now and such, and knew a little bit of my story. So we both just said, hey, look, what's the typical price of something like this size would go for? And he gave me that. And in the store, this thing was only marked $9.99. So, I knew right away I was going to get it, And I still have it. Obviously, I'm showing it to you in the video. I still haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it. My wife and I are making some decisions right now for our future, and it could possibly include, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet because as soon as I do, I'll eat my words, but we're making some life decisions that may entail relocating to a different place. And if I do, I'm not so sure that I'm going to be able to take a whole lot of stuff along for the ride. So anyway, with that said, I just thought that was going to be an interesting story to share with you guys about how you can be in a whole different state and then run across something like that, and then all the dots connect, and you just start connecting, networking with people. It's just awesome. It's amazing what YouTube can do for you. That's one thing it can do for you, by the way. If you're watching me and you've been entertaining the idea of getting on YouTube and you're kind of, on the fence about it, one advantage to being on YouTube is obviously a lot more people know and see what you're doing. And then when you travel around, you might run into somebody that knows who you are. And it was just cool story to share with you. Okay, so that leads me to saying this real quick. I'm going to put Ron's business link down in the description. And also just want to encourage you guys that these kinds of things make really good gifts for veterans. if you are confused right now and you're like, I want to get something for a veteran, but I'm really not sure what to get them. But Ron does a lot of other things with wood that can be designed that are really cool, that you need to check out before you make a decision on what to buy your loved one. So AmericanPatriotDesigns.com again, and veteran owned and operated. Can't go wrong with that kind of business. All right, next up. So I said earlier that one of the other reasons we were going down to South Carolina was I had started speaking through YouTube, as one of my subscribers had made several comments, and I started chatting back and forth with her, and she found out about our two-of-a-kind custom design business, where we do vinyl decals and such. And she contacted us and said that she would like for us to work on a project for her. I know this lady as the Bumblebee lady. And we talked about that, and we're in the works right now of trying to walk through that process with her. But then the more we started talking, the more I started thinking, wait a minute, we're going down to South Carolina, and isn't that where you're from? And sure enough, she was in the same area that we visited. And so I said, well, if you don't mind, I said, my wife and I would like to meet you, and chat a little bit, maybe get to know you. And so we went down, and we ended up setting up an appointed time with her, and we met, and she was gracious enough to pay for our lunch. We went to a barbecue restaurant, and it was a cool little restaurant. I think we were the only ones there at first, and then some other people come in. But it was a really good meal. It was a great chance to talk with her. Her name is Debbie, by the way, and I felt like that we had a really good connection, because she's wanting to get involved in resale, of course, and she's in the process of getting all that going. But she needed a little mentoring and had questions and such. But then we also made a spiritual connection, and that's always a big plus. And so I was really thankful that we were able to do that. So when we got done eating and we went out to the cars, we were going to go out and source together at another thrift store. And she was going to go along for the ride, and we were going to kind of just walk around and interact with each other as we sourced. And we did that, but before we did, she presented me with a gift. And this is what she gave me. Isn't this cool? This is a real guitar. And if that's not American Patriot, I don't know what is. Okay? So, oh, and by the way, if you don't believe me, that's a real guitar, guys. I don't play. I can look like I play. Watch this. I'll sing a Johnny Cash song. I walk the line. Yeah, you do not want me singing Johnny Cash or playing a guitar. But I want to give a shout out to Debbie. Debbie, thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to show your appreciation and such. And thank you for the guitar again. It was just very, very special to be able to connect with other resellers and be able to give something back. And I think that's what the whole family of reselling is all about, is that we are learning how to help one another and give back. A perfect example of this was me calling up Kevin from Commonwealth Picker and just asking a simple question, actually answering a question he asked me, and then turning around and being able to learn about an approach that I should be taking in my reselling business that I have not even been considering. I just learned something last night that it was basically this, and then I'm not going to go into detail about it, but basically it was common sense. And sometimes in reselling world, common sense can sometimes go out of your hair because you're overanalyzing and overthinking things, which I'm notorious for. And so what I learned from Kevin last night talking with him is, hey, look, list 10 things a day at a profit of what you're looking for. So if you're looking to make $100 profit per day, and that's your goal, then list the amount of items that will get you to $100 profit. Now, you may go, those of you who are listening right now that are in reselling, you may be going, what? I don't get that. Or you may already know it, okay? And you have some other thing that you operate on. But, sales are kind of slow right now for June. They were kind of slow for May. Nothing compared to April. But I hadn't been doing that, okay? So that's just a tip that I was given for free and didn't cost me nothing except a phone call. And I thank Kevin for it, because it just, sometimes it's the simple things that can make a world of difference. So I'm going to end up closing this video for now. I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. We're closing in on the 500 mark, and I'm super excited about when that happens. So pay a visit to AmericanPatriotDesigns.com. And by the way, thanks for the guitar, Debbie. I'm so lonesome I could cry. This is Patriot Picker, and I'm a picking, and I hope you're grinning. We'll catch you guys again on the flip side.